Hi, I'm Markie.
And I'm Andrew.
And this is the Happy Everly After podcast.
Hi, hello, and welcome back to the Happy Everly After podcast. My name is Markie Osler, and I am your host. I think that I am going to re-record the intro here pretty soon because for the first couple years it was me and my husband, but he's crazy busy, and this is kind of my little hobby, baby thing, whatever you want to call it. So I'll be doing that when I get a minute in time. You know how like when you are a stay-at-home mom and you like have an errand to run, or maybe you need to grab like one thing at the grocery store and you're like, oh, I'll just run grab it real fast, or like, you know, just folding laundry and doing dishes, the mundane things, you know, those things. I have been so sick, and my kids have been so sick that my life is falling apart, y'all. It is just quite crumbling. I have never, and I feel really bad because we always know that the winters are really hard on all of us. For me, it's my depression. For my husband, it's his depression. Seasonal depression's really bad. But for the boys, it's their lungs, it's the air quality, it's breathing, it's wheezing, it's inhalers and medicine and steroids and antibiotics, and it's freaking hand, foot, and mouth shit, and it's freaking a blister on their finger that no one knows what it is. Turns out it's literally a cold sore. How does your kid have the herpes virus on his finger? This has been the worst winter. And going back to what I was just saying, I feel kind of like a dick because I know that my kids always get really sick in the winter, yet we still live here in Utah and we still do our thing. But this year has been so bad that not only am I ready to move, like I'm gone, I'm out of here. We need to like live on a farm somewhere and like not in the city with pollution or something, anything. And literally like my kids are home right now, like they're homesick from school. So if you hear a cough in the other room, like that's just life right now. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad because the last couple years that they've struggled every single winter, I haven't struggled that much. So like, we'll get through it, you know? But now that this year I've been so sick, I had the flu, I've had a cough, I've had digestion issues. I have like literally, how much info do I give here? Let's just say both ends have struggled this winter, struggled. I don't know why I'm not 95 pounds, honestly, because I have been so sick and I'm kind of over it. Like I'm really over it, and I cry a lot. I cry a lot and I don't know what to do. And how much school my kids have missed, I'm literally like, somebody's going to call CPS on me to come check on these kids. And I'm probably going to look at the CPS lady and be like, yeah, I need help. Like, what do I, like, tell me what to do to like have healthy kids. It's terrible. And it really just like puts things into perspective. Everything always goes back to Everly, but it puts things into perspective that like, if she would have been here, which if this is your first podcast you're listening to, then my apologies because it is not really a fun one. But I'm like, doctor's appointments, illnesses, sicknesses, like medications that make your immune system weak, cardiology appointments all the time, like IEPs, like individual education plans, like special education. We don't know. Like, who knows what it would have been like. Now, I'm going to stop right there and say the thing I always say. Duh, we much rather her be here. But like me being so sick this winter, the boys being so sick this winter, it just like puts things into perspective about these medical parents who are going through basically what I'm going through, but with a special needs child that has heart problems or cancer or diabetes or whatever else. You guys are the real heroes, and that is why today I am going to just talk about some CHD facts. CHD stands for congenital heart defects, and that is what we found out at our 20-week ultrasound Everly was diagnosed with. Basically, she was born with half a heart, and she had a couple open heart surgeries, and she ended up unfortunately having a heart attack and passing away at about 4.5 weeks. That was 7 years ago. And let me tell you, you don't recover. So, like, I grieve her every day. I grieve and I grieve and I grieve. And my whole motto in life is to feel joy and pain at the same time, because they are in tandem at the same time. Joy over here, pain over there. So blessed and happy with my boys. So miserable and just aching physically for my daughter. Constantly looking for my little ducklings everywhere, realizing that one of them isn't there. Like now, even now till this day, I leave my house and I'm like, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh no, we're good. I just like lost a daughter. Like that's life for me. Happy and sad at the same time. Hello. We are going to pause right there for a quick little ad break. I have a story for you. So when I was 12, 13 years old, I remember I was at a church camp. True story. Keep listening. We had like that cool, young, hip, beautiful pageant queen, girls camp counselor come, and she was showing us how to put on makeup. It was actually quite a memorable experience. I remember loving it, feeling so beautiful after we had done our makeup. And I remember asking her a specific question. I said, "Okay, if you have to leave your house in a quick hurry and you can only take 1 or 2 items with you to do your makeup in the car, which items would you take?" I kid you not, she said lip gloss and mascara. And I remember thinking, like, we're all just in our teenage years, like, no, you need to bring concealer to cover up all the blemishes, right? No, she says that mascara is what is going to make your eyes pop, and it can truly like transform your face and make you look like you're wearing, more makeup than you are. So that's something that has always stuck out with me. And the reason why I bring this up is because one of our sponsors, their names are Wink Click. I have personally been using Wink Click lashes for the last 2 years. Just a couple things I love about them. They're comfortable. They last about 7 to 10 days. You guys, I go to the gym. I work out in these lashes. I sit in the steam room, the sauna. I go swimming with my boys. These lashes, I put them on one time, and then the rest of the week, I don't have to wear any eye makeup because my eyelashes are already put. One thing I just barely found out about them as well is that their band is actually made out of cotton. So I didn't know that. And that actually makes perfect sense because the band, when you put it on your eye, it's not uncomfortable. It actually sits very comfortably on your lashes. I literally will be out and about and people will ask me, "Hey, who does your eyelash extensions?" And I literally tell them, "Oh, thank you, me." Because honestly, after like 1 or 2 times of practice of putting these eyelashes on your lashes, it literally is such a time saver. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have time to go and like lay on a table for 2 hours every couple weeks and get my eyelashes professionally done. I don't have the money for it. I don't have the time for it. And I like something that is going to fit better with my lifestyle of being a busy mom, a busy wife. I take care of my household. I run around and do all the errands. It is just so much more easy for me to put on lashes by myself and then just have my makeup done for the whole week. So one thing I do recommend is going to Wink Click's Instagram. You can find them very easily by typing in Wink Click, and all you do is send them a selfie of your face, and what they will do is they will literally look at your face shape and recommend which style of lash that you should buy first, or maybe a lash or two that maybe you can try. Me personally, my favorite are the midis. That's MIDI. They are a game changer. I feel like they look like I'm wearing eyelash extensions. They're a little bit elevated than the natural eyelash look. but they're not like super glamorous. They're just the everyday, comfortable, make my eyes pop and shine and make me feel beautiful without trying that hard lash. So go to Wink Click, send them a selfie. They will recommend which lash to send you. So after you've sent them the selfie and they send you the lashes that they recommend, make sure you use EVERLYJO at checkout. That's EVERLYJO, all caps. And welcome to the click. So in honor of all of that perspective I just barely talked about, and us being sick and having so much respect for these medical parents, and it's February, which means it's Heart Month, and get this, I had the flu on National Wear Red Day this year, and I missed it. And this is the first year in 7 years I didn't go on Instagram. I didn't look at anything. I actually had like some family members and some friends tag me and stuff and share stuff with me and text me and be like, hey, we're thinking of beautiful Everly today. And I was just like hugging a toilet. And you know what? When you're sick, like you don't want to listen to a podcast. You don't want to read a book. You don't want to freaking, like when I get sick, my skin crawls. Like even sitting here is just like uncomfortable. Like I just want to freaking, And like a bunch of stuff happened over the holidays that I'll go into at a later time. And a bunch of stuff happened like over Super Bowl evening the other night. Again, I'll go into that at a different time. I am truly not ready to talk about those things, but just like, some crazy things, and everything's okay. We're okay. I just am so overwhelmed with life right now that I cannot even. That's the end of the sentence. I cannot even. ... So today, wow, that was a run-on sentence. So today, I'm going to talk about a few fun facts, not so fun facts because CHD, about congenital heart defects. They're crazy. Some of them I had no idea, and I've literally been in this heart community for 8 years now, and so it is just so interesting. So I actually went on ChatGPT, and it was kind of cool. I just wrote congenital heart defects, CHD, and then I said, I can't find it. I basically said, like, give me facts about CHD, give me CHD facts about, like, numbers and prevalence, and also compare it to other genetic or congenital. Genetic means it comes from your parents or your grandparents or whatever, like down the line. Congenital means you're born with a disease. There's no way of curing that disease. Like you are born with it. So that's what congenital means. So it says, congenital heart defects, CHDs, are the most common type of birth defect affecting millions of people worldwide. Here are 10 interesting facts about CHDs along with comparisons to other congenital defects. So ChatGPT is kind of rad, just throwing that out there. If you use it for good, of course. Number 1, prevalence. CHDs are the most common congenital defects, conditions, affecting approximately 1 in 100 births globally, with about 40,000 babies born each year in the U.S. with some form of CHD, which I swear, every tiny little baby that's born with a heart problem, those heart problems are all different from the next one. Okay, and then it says comparisons. While other congenital conditions like cleft lip and palate affect about 1 in 700 babies, CHDs have a much higher incidence rate. That's interesting. Okay, variety of conditions. So CHDs encompass a wide range of defects from minor issues like a small hole in the heart to life-threatening conditions like hypoplastic left heart syndrome, which is what Everly had. Where the left side of the heart is underdeveloped. And then it says, here's a comparison. Unlike conditions such as Down syndrome or spina bifida, which are specific genetic disorders, CHDs can involve many different types of heart malformations, each with its own potential severity. So that's kind of what I said earlier, is every heart is so different. Everly actually had 4 separate heart defects. And so her medical plan would look so different than the next baby in the next room. And that is just like so wild to me. It says, number 3, survival rates have improved. Over the past few decades, survival rates for children with complex CHDs have improved dramatically due to the advances in medical treatments, surgical techniques, and early diagnosis. Today, about 90% of children born with CHDs will survive into adulthood. You guys, this is so crazy to me because back when we got the diagnosis for Everly, they told us 75%. So just in a short 7 or 8 years, like technology keeps getting better and better and better. It's just hard because there's no cure for it. There's only surgical techniques and band-aids to help these sweet babies get into adulthood. So that's like what's so frustrating is why? Like, how did this happen? Why did it happen? Mom guilt is huge. I want to blame myself for everything I did wrong in my pregnancy. And it's just hard. I wish I had answers to that. With that said, going from 75% to 90% is amazing. It says, comparison, the survival rate for other severe congenital conditions like cystic fibrosis remains lower, and it often requires more intensive long-term care. Number 4, ongoing research. There is a significant focus on CHD research, with studies investigating everything from improving surgical methods to understanding the genetic basis of these conditions. This has led to new treatments, including minimally invasive procedures, cutting-edge technologies like 3D printing of a heart models for surgery. That's so rad. That is so rad. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, I need to stop right there and just talk to you guys about something real quick. I have to tell you about Dime Beauty, D-I-M-E, Beauty. This is a skincare regimen that I have been using for the last like 6 or 7 months. And I am telling you, my skin has finally calmed down. I have had acne since I was 9 years old. I'm 34 years old now. And I am telling you, Dime Beauty has like played a huge role in having my skin finally calm down. I had heard that one of the owners, her name's Bailey, she had suffered with acne a lot of her life. And so when she went to go to aesthetic school for to learn more about skin and things like that, she found that a lot of the major like skincare companies were marking up their prices so much. And she was actually like, oh crap, I need to save money so that I can afford all of this skincare that my skin needs. No, turns out her husband, and another business partner just decided to make their own and not do the markups so high, which is amazing. I love Dime Beauty because it is, number 1, affordable. Number 2, it is so gentle on my skin while also doing the things that I want it to do for my skin. And number 3, I know that the products are safe. I know that they're backed up. I know that they are doing good for my skin and they're not doing harm on my skin, like adding a ton of chemicals and fragrances and all that stuff. My favorite product of Dime Beauty is definitely the Wonder Screen. That is a tinted sunscreen that I wear every single day. It is basically my primer. And it's a little bit tinted, but it blends in really, really well with basically any skin tone. There is one that isn't tinted as well, so check that one out as well. But it's perfect because it gives you the SPF that you need. It gives you that protection that you need, that barrier between you and the sun. And also, it's like the most perfect, nourishing, yummy primer that you can put on before you put on your makeup. So I love that one. I recommend it to everyone who will listen to me talk about it. That's number 1. The other thing I wanted to say before we jump back into the podcast is their fragrances. Normally when you hear fragrances, you think or maybe you think, I think chemicals, I'm like, oh, like I'm trying to like be better and not just like douse myself in all of these chemicals. No, they use organic materials and fragrances to get the yummiest smelling perfumes, and dare I say dupes. So if you're looking for a particular scent, maybe go on their website or look at their reviews and see if you can find a scent of theirs that might be just like the one that you have, but might be a safer alternative than just like dousing yourself in, you know, a really strong perfume. So those are just a couple of the products that I love from Dime Beauty. I use a lot of their products daily, morning and night. If you want to learn more about Dime Beauty, then go to their website. We will link it here in the show notes, and definitely use the code MARKIEO. That is for Marquis Osler, which is my name. Thank you. And if you use code MARKIEO, you will get a discount. Number 5, impact on family and mental health. Children with CHDs often require multiple surgeries, frequent doctor's visits, and lifelong medical care, which places a significant emotional and financial burden on families. The term heart warrior is often used to describe these children who fight daily against the challenges posed by CHDs. This one's interesting. Gender differences. Studies show that boys are more likely to be born with congenital heart defects than girls. The ratio is approximately 1.5 to 1, with boys facing a higher risk for severe heart defects. Gender differences are also noted in conditions like spina bifida and cleft lip, but the disparity is more pronounced in CHD. So that's very interesting. I don't think I've ever talked about this online ever, but do you guys know that Van, my 5-year-old, he has a kind of a different heart. His heart, it doesn't look like the rest of ours, but like it's not a threat, which is like crazy to think about. But I literally have a picture of like the way his heart looks because they like monitored it so much when he was in my belly and when he was born. So that's so interesting. Genetic factors. While most CHDs are isolated and not caused by a specific genetic syndrome, around 30% of cases are associated with genetic syndromes like Down syndrome, DiGeorge syndrome, and Turner syndrome. I have heard that. So kids with those different genetic makeups, they normally will have some type of heart issue, and that's very, very common. Let's see. You guys, I can't read. Economic impact. The financial cost of CHD is substantial. A study in the U.S. found that lifetime healthcare costs for individuals with complex CHDs can range from $5,000 to several $1 million. You guys, we got medical bills from Everly's life. She was here for 4.5 weeks, and she probably cost like $2.5 million, which is like, number one, disgusting, and number two, just wild. And it wasn't that we were like getting all these bills. Like, thank goodness we were like that couple that was like, wow, like we have the insurance to like handle this. Thank goodness. So we're very blessed with that. But we would get like the receipts, like we would get we billed your insurance for this thing, and it would be like $42,000. And then like it was nuts, like for months and months and months. It was actually very triggering because it would either be addressed to Everly or it would be addressed to the parents of Everly. And I'm like, do these people know that she died? Like, these people stuff in these bills in this envelope, they don't even know that she died. Like, ugh, that sucked. I forgot about that. Let's see. Early diagnosis. So the majority of CHDs can now be detected in utero, which is what happened with me and Everly, through advanced imaging techniques like fetal echocardiograms. Early diagnosis allows for better management and preparation for necessary interventions at birth. Yeah, and then it just says other congenital defects are harder to know before birth, but it is common to find out at that 20-week ultrasound, just because they can get so many great pictures of like the 4 chambers of the heart. Advocacy and awareness. So awareness for CHDs has increased due to the effort of organizations like the American Heart Association and the Children's Heart Foundation, and the growing number of heart warriors sharing their stories. This has led to more funding and awareness for CHD research, as well as improvements in care. And then it says, in summary, congenital heart defects affects a significant number of babies worldwide and have unique challenges compared to other congenital defects. While survival rates are improving, children with CHDs often face long-term health challenges, making ongoing research and advocacy essential. The focus on improving surgical techniques, understanding genetic factors, and increasing funding for research is crucial in advancing care for children born with these conditions. So, thank you, ChatGPT, for the not so fun facts. If you are listening to this and you don't know like our full story or Everly's full story, I would go back from the beginning of our podcast episodes and learn more about that. Also, I want to tell you that Everly's story isn't like every other, CHD story out there. They're all so unique, and a lot of Everly's like little buddies that were her roommates in the hospital, they're doing really good and they're having a beautiful life. And I do know that a lot of them suffer from ongoing health issues, and that's absolutely terrible. It makes me want to like throw up. Like, that is terrible, but they're here and they have amazing parents. And if your heart warrior is here, I just like, please give them the biggest hug from me, because I just think that they're so special and important, and I love them so much. And if your heart warrior is no longer here earthside, just know that I am sending you the biggest internet hug, and I love you, and you're not alone. And please like message me if you ever want to talk. I'm happy to help in whatever way I can. It is very odd being 7 years out, mourning in a way, but also moving forward with my life and my family and growing my family bigger. And that's like hard too, because it's like, well, no, like I should just be like in bed all day crying over my daughter, because like what else would you do when you lose a child, right? So just know that there's a place for all those feelings, and that's why I preach being happy and sad at the same time. And I'm here for you, and I love you, and thank you for all your support. And I hope you guys have a happy Valentine's Day, and I hope that you support the heart community in whatever way you can. And please let me know if you need anything or have any questions. And thank you for listening. Bye.